Welcome to The Favorites, the podcast presented by Bet365. We are part of the Action Network. I am Chad Millman, Chief Content Officer of the Action Network. We've shared our thoughts on the NFL Draft. We've had our deep dive into the NFL schedule with Warren Sharp. It is time, listeners, dear listeners, to examine the NFL Week 1 slate. Listen, the truth is, we say this every week during the season. Lines are already moving. I know on Tuesday, before we went on with Warren, we were already itching to get to the Week 1 lines. We were ready for this Thursday episode. Joining me for this conversation, as always, is my co-host, my companion, my compadre, my BFF, the person who I'd likely be the best man at his wedding, professional bettor, Simon Hunter. Hello, Simon.
Hello, Chad. Is it true? Are we talking Week 1 NFL lines today?
Week 1 NFL lines. I
Best.
know you've already made a bunch of bets.
Oh, yeah.
I've already made some bets. I'm not uncomfortable locking some money up for the next 4 months because everything is adjusting. All schedules are moving earlier. So we're going to have to take advantage of a couple numbers if we want to get the best of it.
Yeah, and it's just, even when the opening lines, as soon as they come out, I put a tweet out about the Ravens game, and I think that total has moved 3 points now, Chad. And we talked about taking the under. So the professionals are going to hit these numbers, and that's why it's kind of like, it's changed though, right? I think we keep talking about how things keep getting better for bettors. It used to be one book maybe would put opening lines out for the Week 1 lines, and everyone else would follow up maybe a month later. Now it's a rush, right? All these books are in competition. So we got lines coming out before the NFL even announces these games, let alone the Week 1 lines. So I love it, right? Every book had Week 1 lines up, I felt like by the second day maybe. So I think they released a schedule on a Wednesday night. Most books had it up that Wednesday, and then every other book really followed up on Thursday. So yeah, a lot of value to be had before the season starts.
We are ready to rock and roll. As a reminder, the Favorites podcast is presented by Bet365. Bet365 doesn't do ordinary. That's why you get more boost with them than with anyone else. Every day they power up the odds on hundreds of bets to give you a chance to win more. Bet365 boosts specific markets, your winnings, and even parlays, and they don't stop there. Keep an eye out for their biggest and best odds with the incredible Super Boost. Check out the boost and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and present in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia, or 18 and older in Kentucky. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. Terms, conditions, restrictions apply. As a reminder, catch every episode of The Favorites live on YouTube. For those enjoying on YouTube right now, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the Action Network YouTube page. The thunder outside my house right now is so loud. I'm surprised my entire camera isn't shaking. There is a storm that's rumbling down the East Coast right now, Simon. So I'm glad we're safe inside. Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. The road to get there starts in exactly 105 days in Kansas City with the defending champion Chiefs and a rematch of last year's playoff matchup. I will say this. In this episode, a couple things I want people to be clear on. We will be doing a big balls. We will be doing an exec decision. We will be doing a Foxhole. We will be doing a Simon Says. These are not going to be our official Week 1 bets until we announce them in the Week 1 episodes. But we are having a little fun right now. These are bets that Simon and I are locking in on already, that we're investing in to enjoy a little bit of a taste for the next few months. Kansas City -2.5 hosting Baltimore. Thursday night football. Give me the Chiefs.
This is the best. It's crazy how good these primetime games are. We literally start with this game, and the next game we're going to talk about is the Eagles Green Bay. It's just, I love
on a
what the NFL is
Friday,
doing.
by the way.
Yeah, on a Friday. It's amazing. So to start it off, if you're new to the show, me and Chad, it's going to annoy the hell out of you, but the basis of what we do is is predictive value. We are looking for value. So right here off the top, the value is gone on the Ravens number. Most books, the books we are sponsored by right here is showing 2.5. There was a 3 there. There's still a couple threes out there. You either grab that 3 or you do not make a bet on this and you just wait. Because to me, the wait now as someone that got the 3 is you hope this gets to the Chiefs at a pick or maybe -1. And that's when you come in on Mahomes and the Chiefs in that spot, because that's where the value will be. So to me, the number is 3. You want to take the 3 of the Ravens. If there's no 3, you sit this one out. There's plenty of other games to bet on here. So this is a game that's really fun because when it came out, first released, I gave it out online at +3 and take the under, which was 49.5. Now the total is down to 46.5, and now most books are showing 2.5. So classic case of the books hung a bad number, the professionals hit it. Now the value's kind of gone in this game. So it's opening night. The hope is more people will bet it as we get closer to the season. You'll be able to get better value on the Chiefs, or if it goes back up to 3, better value on the Ravens.
I would guess that number is going back to 3. Like the public is going to come in. NFL is bigger every year. Everyone loves Patrick Mahomes. We've got a guest coming on next week who wrote a book about Patrick Mahomes. There is too much love for the Chiefs. God only knows if Taylor Swift is going to be there. The amount of attention being paid to this game and to the Chiefs will be so high that we will get value again on the Ravens. I think. Green Bay at Philly, well, Green Bay versus Philly, really. This is a Friday night game in Baltimore. The NFL, they are so brilliant. They give no fucks. Like, put a game in any country on any day, whatever the history had been, whatever the precedent was about when the NFL would play and where they would play is gone. They are playing on Saturdays against expanded college football playoffs. They are playing on December 25th against the window that used to be for the NBA. They are playing on Friday nights. They are playing on Thursday nights. They will be playing on Wednesdays, on Sundays, on Saturdays, on Mondays. They just give. They're a big gift-giving league to all of us fans. Anyways, I don't have a read on this game. Maybe I like the Eagles as short favorites here.
Yeah, it's the definition of a trap game. Like the Eagles, to me, feel like the easiest bet ever. They're playing against a young, inexperienced Green Bay team coming off, a ton of hype from what they did in the playoffs last year. I mean, Jordan Love now is being talked about as if he's a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, this is peak Green Bay. I was just in Atlantic City the other day, talked to multiple bookmakers. All of the money is the Eagles. It's just they're begging for Green Bay money. So I'm hoping that's just because of the location I'm in. But again, a lot of these books, it's not just Eagles fans. There's tons of Giants fans. It's a lot of Jets fans too. It's all Eagles money right now. So Eagles might be the chalkiest play of week 1 right now. But obviously we're 3 months out. That could change. But from my viewpoint, I don't really get this number. I have this at -3. So I'm showing good value on the Eagles. But when a bookmaker tells me in week 1 they are begging for a team and it's a dog, I'm eventually going to end up on that side with them, most likely. Like, it's just the way it is, where it's like, as much as I trust my own number, this number is just very weird. I don't really understand it. And maybe it's because international, or maybe because the Eagles finished so poorly last year that the bookmakers don't really trust them. But it's a bizarre number to me. So for right now, I'm just going to stay away and pass on it.
I don't think it's about, I think you're close to nailing why the number is what it is. This is a public perception bet to me. I don't think fans really paid attention to how well the Eagles drafted and how much they improved their personnel and how much better their defense got by the changes in the coaching staff. And so the bookmakers know that. And like people who are really paying attention know that the Eagles kind of won the offseason, when it comes to the NFC, especially the NFC East. And the Packers, everyone is remembering, oh, yeah, the Packers, they played amazing in the playoffs. They beat the Cowboys. They had chances to advance. So I think there's just a lot of public sentiment coming in on the Packers and people remembering them being, and that people remembering the Eagles being disastrous at the end of the year. So that's why I think it's chalky and it's a little bit of a trap. But I don't think our reasoning is right that this is the right side. But it's a little scary to play it this early. It's not where I
Yeah.
would lock up my money.
It's
I
just a
wouldn't
weird
wait and
number
see.
because Green Bay is an easy team to bet to miss the playoffs. Like we talk every year, there's three or
Yeah.
four teams that are guaranteed to miss the playoffs. Like Green Bay is at the top of the list of a team that overachieved. You expect to miss the playoffs. So just interesting that the books have this number so low.
Speaking of expectations, we teased this the other day. Pittsburgh at Atlanta. Atlanta -3. Dude, I don't know about this game. I don't know about this team, but I feel like we're leaning Steelers here.
Yeah, if you want to make this one of our bets too, I love this pick, especially at +3 for the Steelers. It's just my view of it is this is a lot of respect to Kirk Cousins coming off a major injury on a new team, running a new scheme with new weapons, playing against a Pittsburgh team. They could say, well, they have a new quarterback too, and Russell Wilson. It's like they're not going to be asking Russell Wilson to do anywhere near as much as Atlanta's going to be asking Kirk Cousins to do. And then you factor in as well that, their old head coach, Atlanta, now is on Pittsburgh and is their offensive coordinator. Like, that's a big deal. This guy knows, Arthur Smith, say what you want about him. I think he's a pretty good offensive coordinator. We saw what he did with Tannehill in that Tennessee offense. So, for early days here, it's going to be an advantage to Pittsburgh, right? No one's really going to know what they're going to do. Where Kirk, you kind of, not saying that you know exactly what that offense is going to be, but we know what Kirk is. But coming off an injury, it's just, I can't believe this is -3. To me, this should be closer to what we just talked about, the Eagles Green Bay game. It's like that, this should be -1.5, right? These two teams, I really do think Pittsburgh's a little better, right? Like, this is a team that across the board, I haven't graded out a lot of more key positions. And we're not even talking about it. We have a fully healthy Watt. Me and Chad love Watt, Pittsburgh as a dog in this position. We almost always play this blindly, honestly. So me and Chad, I knew we were going to love this one. The
Yeah.
fact that the pros have come in now and you're seeing a bunch of books, showing that this is going from 3 to 2.5. I'm just hoping people can get the 3 on the Pittsburgh.
You mentioned Watt, and Evan is out this week, but if he was on, we would have the litany of stats that show how much better the Steelers
Yeah.
are, both straight up and against the spread, when Watt is on the field. Couldn't agree with you more about the situation that the Steelers find themselves in. This is a perfect spot to bet the Steelers. Simon, I'm calling it right now. We're in the Foxhole because
Love it.
nobody is going to think, oh, I want to bet Russell Wilson. Oh, I want to bet the Steelers when they know Atlanta is getting so much hype. We're in
People
the
love
Fox.
Atlanta. Like they're like one of the most hyped up teams right now, and
It's stupid.
I wanted to be on Atlanta. Now it's really making me a little nervous about them. It's making me a little nervous about Atlanta.
Are we in the Foxhole?
I'm in the Foxhole on that one. Yeah,
We're in the
straight.
Foxhole. Jacksonville at Miami. Miami is a 3.5-point favorite.
I know.
Yeah.
We're supposed to take Jacksonville, but I actually kind of like Miami. I just Miami at home. But my fear with Miami is I don't really know what kind of team they're going to be on defense. They've just had a lot of shakeup. Not even just losing their defensive coordinator. I don't know if he went. Fangs has got the Eagles now. I don't know if that's that big of a deal. But Miami's had some big pieces left their defense, and I know they've signed a couple of guys, but I don't really have a good read on Miami. But my view of
I think
them is just
Miami's a
at
little
home, that offense,
overvalued.
right?
I think this is another perception thing. Fans aren't thinking about the fact the Dolphins got rid of Christian Wilkins, right?
Yeah, it's a
They're
big
not
deal.
thinking about the fact that the rest of their defense is a little depleted and that there's going to be some changes. They're only thinking about the fact Miami played great last year, even if they did lose in the playoffs, and Jacksonville underachieved. And so I think you're getting a half point of value in this game. I'm not ready to bet it yet because this is one of those games I want to see how things shake out. There's too many personnel changes that I need to evaluate what happens during the preseason a little bit. Slightly in Jacksonville, but
The
not a play.
the over to me is the play there. If we're not going, because me and Chad usually take sides here, but like
Yeah.
the over, that's the play. Miami at home, this will be a track meet so fast. Like Miami's going to put up points. I think Jacksonville's gonna be able to counter it. Like they do have weapons on that offense. I know people think because Calvin Ridley left, they don't, but it's like they actually do have some pretty solid weapons across the board for Jacksonville. So yeah, me and Chad mainly do sides here, but if you're looking for a total, the over here, 49.5, I don't mind taking that at all. I have this game at 51.5, so 2 points of value is a lot for me.
Minnesota at New York Giants. Giants, excuse me, are 1 point favorites at home.
Simon says, take the New York Giants. Shocker, I know. I love this spot so much for the Giants. The Vikings team, people talking about them. I just can't believe this number is what it is. Like our options right now, they either might be starting JJ McCarthy, his first start on the road in New York, or Sam Darnold, a guy who saw ghosts in this exact stadium. It's like, I can't believe this is the number. It's a dream. It's just the hate has gone too far for the Giants and Daniel Jones. We all agree he is not a good quarterback. And we all agree he's not the guy, right? Like they overpaid him. I understand like why they want to get rid of him and why they try to move on from this offseason, but he's on the team. And when he actually plays pretty well in this offense. Like surprisingly does all right. Now, for his first time in his career, he has a number one receiver. Like they took a top receiver in the draft. I just don't think the Giants are gonna be as bad as everyone's making them out to be. Like this number to me is just insane, and I just I can't believe people are betting on the Vikings here on the road. It's crazy to me. Like I was hoping this number was gonna flip, that so much love was gonna come on this Vikings team, but just in the last 2 days, the reports are coming out there that JJ McCarthy is just he's been horrible in their practices. Like they're doing 7-on-7 drills, Chad, and apparently he's scrambling, which if you're a head coach and you're doing a 7-on-7 drill and you've seen your QB continuously scramble, that's got to be an absolute nightmare. It's like, oh my God, this is literally designed for him just to be passing. So yeah, I can't believe this is only -1. It really is a gift. I know the Giants, they're depleted. They're not that good of a team. I understand where all that's going to come from. Minnesota on paper is a better team. I just think overall there's a big advantage to this Giants team facing either a rookie making his first start on the road or Sam Darnold.
I'm a little surprised this is your Simon Says. Completely agree with you.
Yeah, me too. Because I hate to bet this, but it's like this is insane.
But I also know to me, we still got to do an exec decision and a big balls. And there's 3 games that we still have to talk about that I think could fill either one of those categories. And I thought those were going to be the other 3 games that filled Simon Says big balls and exec decision. So the fact you pulled Minnesota New York Giants out is totally, it's almost like you went way off the board and drafted a guy I did not have in any of my top 4 slots. And now I'm re-examining the entire board to see who is going to get left out.
No, I'm with you. I did not 2 weeks ago when this number came out, I did not think the Giants were going to be one of my favorite bets. And then when I saw the number, I'm just like, oh my God, like the hate has gone way too far on this Giants team.
It's so interesting how we've talked about this. Brian Daboll 2 years ago, coach of the year,
Yeah.
pulls Daniel Jones in a playoff win out of his hat against the Minnesota Vikings. And we felt like Kevin O'Connell wasn't getting the credit he deserved as a really good coach for doing similar things with the Vikings that Daboll did with the Giants. And then this past year, he did even better by getting the Vikings to be as good as they were after Kirk Cousins went down and just cycling through quarterbacks. So I do feel like in this matchup, we're getting 2 really good offensive minds who know how to get their teams ready and play to the strengths of their team, but also expose the weaknesses of the other team's defense. So it is a tricky game because O'Connell's a really good coach.
He is, but again, it's too much love. Like people were like, oh, this guy figured out the past or not. They fell off a cliff and that was it. It was over, right? They literally couldn't do anything. Are they the team that put up? Yeah, they put up 0 points, right? They lost to the Raiders 3-0, right? Or was it the other way? Did they win 3-0? It just got to a point where it's just like, I get the love for the guy. He does amazing things, but he's not reinventing the wheel here. Like he's not that special. Teams are pretty quickly can figure out what he was doing with the other quarterbacks and were able to shut it down. So for me, I do think he's a great coach, but I think Daboll's better. I honestly do. Like he just
All right.
even Bills fans, you've seen the difference between Josh Allen under his coaching and since he's left the offense. So Yeah, it's tough to say. Yeah, that was Vikings versus Raiders. Yeah, so that again, in a game, I get it. It's football is weird like that, but I just remember watching that game and being like, this guy is a little overrated, Kevin.
Tennessee at Chicago.
Woo.
The Monsters of the Midway. 4.5 point favorites with a rookie quarterback at home against the Tennessee Titans. This to me feels way trappy. It feels like, all right, everyone's heard about Caleb Williams. He's at home. First game ever in the NFL. Going against the Titans team that has a new coach, a quarterback that everyone thinks is suspect. I'm not buying 4.5, though. To me, like 100%, this is a play on the Tennessee Titans as an underdog of not only more than a field goal, more than 4 points, which is such a key number now.
Yeah, I would say this is probably our grossest bet, right? Like
Yes.
we're gonna make it's one of the biggest that like no one feels good about placing this bet. You are literally the definition of contrarian here betting this. So yeah, Chad's view is so right though. It's like this line should probably be what -2.5,
At
3.
most,
Like you're getting
it should not be a field goal. I'll tell you that.
I would put it right there though, just because that's how low the bar is right now in Will Levis, where even the little game film practice we've seen of Williams, I mean, it's night and day compared to a guy like Will Levis, right? Will Levis doesn't look that smooth and comfortable compared to watching a kid like Williams, who's a rookie, come in and throw the ball. So, yeah, for us here, this is an easy bet. Like, this is going to be in the money line around Robin. This is just an inflated number with a ton of value on it that we could be down 14-0, me and Chad, in the first quarter. And now we have Will Levis throwing for the rest of the game, and we are dead. We are dead in this game. But on the flip side, no one would be shocked if Williams struggles in his first game at home with all that pressure, the weight of Chicago on his shoulders. It's going to be heavy. Like he's about to go through a whole month of people blowing smoke up his ass when you guys get in there in camp, just because you've never had such a good quarter. I mean, they're just going from him and Justin Fields mentally in that huddle in the QB room is going to be insane. This kid can remember plays from high school and talk about the formations, stuff like that. Again, not trying to bash Justin Fields, but that was the big knock on Justin Fields is he just was not the smartest football mind, right? His football mind wasn't the best, where that's one of Williams' strengths. So the pressure is going to be insane on this kid. And again, I was going to make this one of our big balls bet, but my worry here is this number, Chad, is going to keep going up because I think all the teasers, all these other bets are going to come in. So it's like, I'm happy for people to grab the 4.5, but it's not, this is one of the bets. I'm not holding you down being like, you have to take this right now. Chad knows I really want to see more Will Levis tape, especially in the preseason. See what kind of offensive scheme they're running here before I put, upwards of 6 figures onto a Tennessee team. Because it's just like sitting here right now, I can't really bring myself to do it. It's like looking at this team, I don't have that kind of faith. Me and you are really just betting a bad number at the end of the
Yeah.
day, right?
It's funny. I said there were 3 games that I had sort of pegged as slotting for exec decision and big balls now that Simon Says and Foxhole have been taken. This was one of them. And then I decided it wasn't going to be my suggestion for it.
Yeah.
Neither is the next one, but I know we're going to bet it. I know it's going to be in the money line parlay. And it's going to be terrible. And this is going to be our Jacksonville Jaguars team of 2021. We're just going to bet it every single week. Carolina Panthers +5 at New Orleans. I don't even want to talk about it. I just want to say we're betting it.
No, I'll definitely give some voice to Bryce Young because I just literally spent a whole entire year shitting on the kid and I didn't want to do it, but that's part of the job, right? Is we come here to really be honest with our views and our opinions, and it was just like I couldn't get over this kid being a first round pick. Did I think he was gonna be as horrible as he was? No, I think that team organization failed him in a ton of ways. Now they're trying to do their best to fix it. I don't know if it's the fix though. What they went out and did was spend about 50 million on their offensive line, which is great. I think they have the most highest paid offensive line in all of football, which is fantastic. But my issue is the kid still can't see the middle of the field because you can't see his offensive line when they're all standing up. That's a huge issue. So I don't know. They're a weird team, Chad. Like you said, we'll play this 5, but I feel better taking Tennessee, even though I have more questions about them than I even do taking the Panthers here, just because they're just losers. The stank of the losing culture last year. I mean, going back on all those bets we lost, I've watched some of those games, unfortunately, a bunch. The drops from the receivers, all this stuff, they didn't really fix a lot of that stuff. I know, they've tried to add guys. I think they got the guy from Pittsburgh, right? I forget which receiver they got from Pittsburgh, but they did add a receiver, but it's like, I still think Thielen's probably their best guy. I mean, Deontay Johnson's really good, but he's inconsistent. I think he had one touchdown in like 17 games, which again, you could blame the quarterback, but like Chad said, I sorry even spending this much time on it. I do think the Panthers are going to be better. This is a team that me and Chad, unfortunately, are going to be betting a lot this upcoming season. But it is all about picking our spots here. So yeah, I like it, but I doubt this will be one of our 5 come week 1.
No, it won't be, but we're historically, we're going to fade Dennis Allen as a favorite. We're going to fade
Especially a
Dennis Allen
5-point favorite.
as a 5-point favorite at home.
Yeah.
This next game, Arizona at Buffalo. I am offering this up, Arizona Cardinals +7 as our big balls bet of the off season.
No, we have another one. We have a better big balls, but I get where you're coming from. This is a bet we probably make, but yeah, it's another one I don't really get the number. Is this because of teasers? Like, why is this so high? This is a crazy big number for a Buffalo offense that I feel like their identity has totally changed this offseason, where they're kind of be a more oriented team. But this scares me, Chad, because they are begging us to put some money on the Cardinals here, giving us that +7. That's a big number where, yeah, Kyler with Marvin Harris, like this back door is always going to be open. With this Bills team's not that as high as power as it's always been. So I love where your head's at, but I honestly haven't put a penny on this game yet. I don't really know what a read is on. It's like, won't this be 7.5, 8 by week 1? Just because all the teasers and parlays on the Bills, but man, I could not believe this opened at 7 just because I had it at powered at 5.5, 6. So yeah, initially I wanted to jump right on it, but I'm trying to be patient here and wait on this one to keep going up.
I got to tell you, again, for those listening, we don't talk about this before we
No,
don't want to map it out because we want this to be organic and feel fresh. I'm shocked. Like, I looked at the schedule, I looked at the rundown this morning. I'm like, oh yes, this is our big balls bet of the week. I know how we feel about the Bills right now. I know how we feel about the Cardinals. We both think the Cardinals are trending up. We think they
yeah,
could be the third best team in their division, maybe the second best in the NFC West. Definitely like the way they played last year. I am shocked, shocked, shocked. So I'm looking forward to your suggestion for
it's
the
really
big
just about
balls.
Kyler, brother. That dude, I don't know about him. Like he came back and he might have had a moment here or there, but it was just like I don't really know if he even likes football. Like I just have I have too many questions about him. So that's just my biggest issue, Chow. Where it's like you're asking me to lock up money for the next 3 months, and I feel like I might be able to get better value come week 1 just because, um, yeah, I don't know who's really loving back in the Arizona besides the professionals. Like you just talked about the professionals, I think they love their win total. A lot of people are all in on this Cardinals team. I have a lot of questions still, just mainly about Kyler.
All right. Well, we still owe big balls. We still owe an exec decision. I will tell you that my exec decision is coming up soon. Um, but it is not New England at Cincinnati. Cincinnati -9.5. Joe Burrow, his luxurious mane. Joe Burrow, who is him. Joe Burrow, who we love. 9.5 is a big, big, big,
Yep.
big number.
Yeah, we'll bet the Patriots here, and I wish I could give you guys a ton of numbers and logical reasoning behind it, but there really isn't one other than this is an inflated line, and everyone in the world is going to have the Cincinnati in their teasers and their parlays, and it's and again another number where if you want to wait, this could easily get to 10. You can wait. I mean, there's no rush, but in my mind, I think this number is so high because they have it as if May is going to start. Where I think most of us think it's going to be Brissett, which again, that'd be amazing value if it's Brissett starting. Even though I have big questions about him, it's at the end of the day, he to me would be a safer bet than betting on May, the unknown here in this week 1. So another line where it's like I'm not making this anything for us just because I don't want people getting a bad number here and then being pissed come week 1 because 10 is such a key number. So Yeah, there's 9.5s out there. Hopefully we wait. It gets to 10 at some point this summer. I mean, I'll definitely tweet about it, or we'll bring it up on the show and you go grab when it's 10. But don't just grab a 9. Nine's kind of a dead number anyway.
Houston at Indy. Indy minus 1.5. I mean, Indy plus 1.5. There's 2 home underdogs on the schedule in week 1. This is one of them. We're going to get to the other one a little bit. Indianapolis Colts are my exact decision.
I was going to make it big balls.
We're going to have to find another big balls.
All right, we'll find another one. Yeah. No, I get
I
it.
feel
This is a good
strongly
one.
about this one.
Yeah.
Like, we are buying low. We are selling high. We are getting Anthony Richardson, who was a gamer. We are getting Shane Steichen, who I think is a brilliant coach. Did such a good job turning Gardner Minshew into a quarterback who can make this a high caliber team who could compete with anybody. Obviously, Houston with rookie of the year on offense, rookie of the year on defense. DeMeco Ryans is a great coach. Like, they are primed to be great, which means they are primed for a fall in week 1. Give me the Indianapolis Colts plus 1.5, home underdog, exec decision. Go.
Yeah, it doesn't get much easier than this. Divisional home dog on a team we both love with a quarterback we think is going to take another big step in his second year. So even if you've seen him in practice, like how much weight and muscle he's put on, even his throwing mechanics look better in his footwork than they did last year. Like clearly he's been working on all of it. So yeah, you're gonna get sick of it. Me and Chad are gonna, like, I already wish we had talked more about it, but his MVP odds were really good. Now they're not, the value's really not there anymore to bet Anthony Richardson MVP, but like these are the kind of teams we love to back, right? It's like if you go back and watch how Houston the Colts played last year, I have no doubt that if A-Rod was healthy or Anthony Richardson, they probably would have beat them. Like they were just, that game came down to the last game of the year, and Minshew to me was the difference in that game where their defense Colts played really well
Yeah.
against CJ. And we've kind of seen that, right? When it's divisional games, you've seen guys twice. It's different the second time around. They have it's just different divisional games. So me and Chad are in so lockstep here. I love this one so much. If you're scared, like I say it all the time, if you're a scared better, you don't want to take the 1.5 now, do a teaser. Like if you want to do a teaser here with this team and Cincinnati or the Bills, wherever you want to throw in there a chalk teaser, 7.5. Taking this team up to 7.5 at home, Colts. There's not a word I can't see this team not covering that, like especially in divisional games. So, yeah, love where Chad's head at. Love this game. Love this matchup. Houston, to me, this will be one of the most bet public sides, right? All that money is going to come in so heavy on Houston.
Yes.
I mean, people getting them under a field goal in this game, they're just loving that value. Where me and Chad are the other way. We just can't believe we're getting a plus number right now on this Colts team. So, I'm just happy you picked it, but obviously I want to make it the big balls. But I see your head's at, Chad. This is a great bet.
All right. Now that I've made it my exact decision, we do need to do a big balls. We can keep Arizona on the table, but there is another game where I think we could go big balls. And so we'll keep running through it and know that Arizona is in our back pocket. Denver at Seattle. Seattle minus 4.5. No, thank you. Anywhere?
I know. I hate it though. We're supposed to bet Denver, but
Yeah.
I know.
Come on.
I know it's that I know. I can't do it. I just maybe my hate's too gone too far on Seattle, but that's a big number for Geno. But Chad's right. It's like, am I really gonna be betting on Bo Nix on the road in his first start +5? It just I rather put my money elsewhere. So yeah, I can't see this really changing unless we watch preseason. This kid has full command of the offense and everything he reads great, but it's just that's tough. Maybe we wait. He looks like dog shit in preseason. We get a 7 come kickoff. But yeah, Chad's right. I'll pass
Yeah.
on this for now.
It's not a bet now game. We're
No.
not, we don't feel strongly about that right now. Las
I
Vegas.
honestly couldn't even make a number on it because I had nothing really for my model. It's like, I don't know who
Right.
the quarterback is. I got no read on any of these quarterbacks right now. Obviously, if it's not Bo Nix and they got the other guys going, it's not ideal in Denver. But I think Sean Payton's so enamored with the kid, he's going to be the starter.
Las Vegas at LA Chargers, Jim Harbaugh debut at home, minus 3.5. point favorites. Not a massive feel for this game. I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna hate myself for doing it, but I took the under. I had to bet it. It's like I even though like I might regret it, but I just view this Raiders identity as that the identity is that it's the defense, 12 personnel, running the ball kind of team. Like that's just my view of what they're gonna try to be this season, this Raiders team. And Harbaugh is more than happy to just go into the mud and run the ball 40 times. Like he doesn't care that it's Herbert. Um, he just wants to win every game by 1 point. Like that's why I love a coach like him. He does not care that whatever Herbert is so great at, it's like, no, we're here to win, not see you throw amazing passes downfield. 1 out of every 5 connects. It's like that whole thing we saw with Herbert, those old days are kind of gone. He's going to kind of go into that Andrew Luck role, right? Andrew Luck at Stanford, if you go back and watch it, once they had weapons and he felt comfortable with Andrew Luck, they really opened the offense up and they're happy to push the ball downfield. But the early days, he really relies on him learning the system and just running the ball. So, there was a couple 45s out there, a couple of 44s are still available. Our sponsors here, Bet365, have a 43.5. You can take it if you want, but try to find the 44. That's a key number. So definitely like the under in this matchup.
Potential big balls bet of the week. I don't think it's it, but it's potential. It's on the board. Dallas at Cleveland, Cleveland plus 1.5. We're going to go into the season the same as we went into last season. Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Your belief in this Cleveland team is directly correlated to your belief in Deshaun Watson. And I know you can say that about the quarterback for every team, but
Right.
there is something different about Deshaun Watson because people continue to think of him as what he was with the Texans and hoping he can get back to that with the Browns. And that makes the ceiling for this team so much higher. Cleveland at plus 1.5 feels like a good side if you are a believer in Deshaun Watson.
Yep. And this is another game where I'm happy to wait on, where um, everything's so negative. The juju is so bad right now for Dallas. I want to honestly, Jed, I want to bet Dallas. I just feel like this is a nice buy low spot on Dak and them week 1 here against Cleveland, where to me, Watson's going to be so crazy rusty. I mean, this guy has not played a full season. He's just been playing sparsely for about 4 years now, and he's inconsistent. I mean, even in practice, I watched the other day some of their practice. He's not even fully throwing yet. He was doing mimic throwing, like he's not throwing with a ball. Like he still has days where he's not fully throwing yet. So, again, we're 3 months out. I get it. It's going to be a slow process getting back, but um, I look at this team that me and Chad loved them last year because of Jim Schwartz and that defense, and that was our ultimate confidence. Do we know they're going to be the greatest home team ever in football history, like defensively? No. Is that repeatable, Chad? No. We both know those are totally outliner kind of things. So I'm trying not to be scared off by that because if this was midseason last year, me and Chad would be hammering Cleveland.
Hammering.
Yeah, even if it was Joe Flacco, we would love this number. So I'm trying to be not an idiot, not thinking about last year, trying to play what's in front of me. And as we sit here right now, I think me and you both feel more confidence putting our money behind Dak in the regular season than we do Deshaun Watson at a pick, right? So that's where my head's at right now. So I'm going to pass on that one for now.
We got 3 more games. We still owe a big balls. Washington at Tampa Bay -4.
Another rookie on the road. And it's tough where it's like, do you feel good backing Baker at -4? I don't. I want to take the rookie at +4 and the high upside of the unknown. So I'll be convinced on it, but am I putting money on that right now? Hell no. I got no read on this one. I got it modeled out at 3. So yeah, the value right now is definitely Washington, and I feel like that's right, but not in a rush to bet it. Another game, I'm okay sitting here letting this number move around, but Washington. They're another team that's going to be getting a lot of hype, I'm telling you, before the season starts, just because this kid Daniels, if he breaks out one run in the preseason, it's going to take off this Washington hype train, just because it's the first guy they really had since what? RG3, that kind of type of
RG3.
athleticism that's just exciting to watch. So, yeah, the Daniels, just seeing him at that pitcher day, even sitting next to your quarterback, Williams, it's like, holy shit, man. Daniels, they kept talking about how skinny and shit he was. It's like, he looks pretty damn big to me. So, definitely exciting times in Washington, and then +4. +4. I can't get over that Baker's -4 against the team, but I guess it makes sense, right? Rookie on the road here, so we'll just keep waiting on this one.
Yeah, to me, that's not a bookmakers looking at Baker. That's a bookmakers looking at Washington and
Yeah.
the perception of Washington and Jaden Daniels. And look, the Bucks did make the playoffs. Baker played great at the end of the year. He just got the big deal. Two juicy, juicy meatballs in the last two games
Yeah.
on the schedule. Detroit, 3.5 point favorite against the Rams. Let's do them together. Jets, 5.5 point underdogs. Monday Night Football debut for Aaron Rodgers. Back-to-back seasons. Let's see if he can survive the first series. But I will tell you, I feel good with the Jets or the Rams as a big balls bet of the week here. I think we are getting significant percentage value in the hook on both games.
Yeah, the big ball is better the week. It's got to be the Rams.
Yeah.
Come
Okay.
on. +3.5. So this obviously doesn't take that big of balls. Anyone out there is more than happy to take the hook on the Rams. My view of is this is insane. Detroit's crazy overvalued here. Even though I have them power rated as number 3 best team in the NFC, I really don't have the Rams that far below them, honestly. Like the biggest difference here is just, overall, Detroit's a more complete team than the Rams because the Rams just have not had first round draft picks. So Detroit's been incredible at drafting these last couple of seasons, and that's definitely the big difference here. But public receptions are really the driver of this number. Like this is going to be 3 by kickoff for 2.5. There's no way the professionals don't hit this on the Rams. If you have a healthy Stafford, I mean, again, Williams being out would be a big deal. They took that kid from Michigan, so they already have another running back that can step in. That's to me a playmaker. So yeah, I'm not trying to go too overboard here, but I love this Rams team so much. So this is a bet that I made right when it came out. I've been hitting it. And when I talk to bookmakers, they don't mind it because they're getting tons of money here on Detroit, not only in moneyline parlays, but teasers. Just the public loves this team in Detroit. So the Rams, don't let it be scared off that this hook has stayed this whole time. I love this Rams team.
It's interesting to me that when you say you're talking to bookmakers, my sense from what you're saying right now is that there's already public money coming in on these. And normally with lines getting posted this early, professionals would take their bites and it would be pretty dormant for the public. Is that the sense you're getting from bookmakers? Is that the public is coming in?
Well, let's say you must not be on social media, then everyone's professional now, Chad. So
I guess that's true.
yeah, Joe Schmo's walking in there thinking they're beating the books, they're the sharp guy, but yeah, they like you just said, they're the public. So I think it's more that people just love football. That's been the biggest shift, right? The itch for it, where it's like, you're right. Most people don't want to tie their money up for 3 months, but people are just so into it. They don't mind doing it right now. They're just like, they feel like they're getting a good number, and hey, they might be, but I'm with you. I am shocked how much money is coming early here on different games. It's just like, wow, people cannot wait for football to kick off. I mean, people are just so damn excited.
All right. Well, the last game, Jets at Niners. Niners 5.5 point favorites. Monday Night
We're on
Football.
opposite sides.
You like the Niners?
I know. Yeah, I got this. I told you I got them number 1, and like I know a couple of people scoffed at it. Guess who fucking has them number 1 too? All the sports books. They're favored in every game, even against the Chiefs. They're favored against them. That's why it's like I try to explain to people. That's the hardest part of this job. It's like no shit. We think the Chiefs are the best team in football. They just won the fucking Super Bowl. No one's model has the Chiefs as the number 1 team. They have so many fucking holes. They're just. I don't even think they're probably even most people don't even have them number 1 in the AFC when they bring it under their model. It's just models can't account for how incredible Mahomes is. So 49ers are the best team in football. Like I hate it, but I have them power rate number 1. So the books, they're favored in every single game this season. It's not shocking. They're just so complete. So I wanted to bet the Jets here. I'm pissed that I don't have value on them because I thought when I first saw this number, I'm like, oh, this is a good number. Like I bet my miles gonna have this at 3.5. Nope. Make it a touchdown. It's like, Jesus Christ. I just can't believe the
Wow.
49ers are that good. Yeah. So it could be also that maybe I'm not adjusting enough in my own head compared to computer that Aaron Rodgers is in his 40s, coming off a major injury. Now he's on the road playing against, you know, the arguably the best team in football. It's like in a stadium, he struggles, right? I mean, think of all the times he went from Green
True.
Bay and
Yeah.
played there. Whatever it is mentally, he obviously does struggle there. So I know it, in my head, I was like pumped for it because I told you I like the Jets this year. I'm a buyer, but yeah, the 49ers are a team I'm not having a lot of money line parlays and teasers. They're a team I really like in this week one matchup of. I think they're being a little undervalued here, that they're actually better than people perceive. So not shocking that a couple of pros I've talked to have come in on the Jets, right? I think Chad has the same view of it. It's like that's a lot of points for week one, especially for Rodgers, but I'm going to trust them out on this one and just think I'm overrating Rodgers and the Jets in my mind. Where this will be a good parameter, right? If they come out and they do cover or beat this number, honestly, that'll make me happy because Chad knows. But I have a bunch of futures. I'm invested in this Jets team, but I'm going to trust my model here and back the 49ers.
Uh, the joy, irrational joy I get when you tell me that you like my exact decision. I've forgotten how happy it
Like and
makes
love
me.
it.
This in the past 5 months. Recap. Our Foxhole,
This is
Pittsburgh,
gonna be so gross. I can't wait. Go. Let me hear it.
Pittsburgh +3 is our Foxhole.
Love it.
You recommend people take Jacksonville and Miami over 49 because you got that at about 51. Um, New York Jets -1 is
No,
our
no, Giants,
assignment.
Giants.
I mean, New York Giants -1
Even worse.
is
Yeah.
our assignment. So much worse. I was just in my head hoping it had changed magically to the Jets. The exec decision is the Indianapolis Colts +1.5 at home against the Houston Texans. Our big balls bet of the week for the offseason. Los Angeles Rams +3.5 on the road on Sunday Night Football against the Detroit Lions. Caveat again, we are investing in these games now, but these are all subject to change when we actually do the week one podcast. But we did want to give people a little bit of taste
Yeah.
of what we're thinking about.
Like 90% chance they don't, but 10% chance it's 3 months from now. Like something crazy shit might happen, right, Chad? So there's always that out, people. Don't hold us to it too hard.
105 days from today, it
That's
all
not bad.
starts.
That's not bad,
No,
honestly.
that it's honestly not bad. I can
I can
basically
make it.
see it. We're 5 weeks from the beginning of July, and July is kind of like a shutdown month. So then we're really just 5 weeks from August. And if you look at it that way,
I
by the
like your
transitive
math. I
property.
like this.
And by August, then we're launching our division previews where we got, every single episode, Tuesday, Thursday throughout the month. We are doing a division preview. And those were amazing last year. We had so much fun doing those. So we're getting there, buddy. We're getting there. As a reminder, the Favorites podcast is presented by Bet365. Bet365 doesn't do ordinary. That's why you get more boosts with them than with anyone else. Every day they power out the odds on hundreds of bets to give you a chance to win more. Bet365 boosts specific markets, your winnings, and even parlays. And they don't stop there, keeping out for their biggest and best odds with the incredible Super Boosts. Check out the boost and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and present in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia, or 18 and older in Kentucky. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. Terms, conditions, restrictions apply. We will return with our next episode of The Favorites on the Action Network YouTube page Tuesday, 1:45 p.m. Eastern with Rustin Dodd, author of the new book on Patrick Mahomes. Simon, this is where authors come to turn their books into bestsellers because Keith O'Brien came on the next week. The book debuts. Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose, biography, makes the New York Times bestseller list. That's what we do. That's what we do. We turn books into bestsellers. Download us from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your pods. Rate, review, subscribe, leave us 5 stars, say whatever you want. Feedback is a gift. Until Tuesday. Love you.